Good afternoon, everyone. I would request you guys to switch off your microphones and cameras. We are going to cover various topics, including risk, damages, challenges, best practices, and codes and our offerings, Securiton offerings, with few references in next few slides. This is me. I have over 20 years of experience in the field of fire and security, with more than 10 years with Securiton. I am based out of India office and looking after India and SAARC countries, neighboring countries. We now have to understand about the technology which we are going to offer or which we are going to talk about. Yeah. An aspirating smoke detector, ASD, is a system used in fire protection, active fire protection, considering of a central detection which draws air through a network of pipes, and it is basically to detect smoke only. The sampling chamber detects the presence of a smoke suspended in air by detecting the light scattered by them in the chamber. ASDs can typically detect smoke before it is visible to the naked eyes. Means it detects the smoke at very incipient stage of fire when the fire is not seen from the naked eyes. The air samples collected by using a sampling pipe with multiple holes are captured, filtered. The dust filter removes the dust to avoid the false alarms, and then the highly sensitive detection unit reacts if smoke is detected. The system's alarm is triggered and signals are then processed through centralized monitoring stations within a few seconds of fire. So it is a very high sensitive system, gives you indications at the very incipient stage of fire. Data rooms, IT facilities, and remote hubs are prime examples where very early warning detection system is required. When it comes to safeguard mission critical applications, the mission critical equipments and high value assets, and of course, life safety is the priority. Unlike passive smoke detection systems, including spot detectors, ASD systems actively draw smoke to the detector through boreholes within a piping system that runs throughout the protected area. Furthermore, ASD systems are incorporate integrity monitoring to ensure an alert is raised at any time that ASD's ability to detect smoke is compromised. This is not the case with the passive detection system, passive devices that are generally only electrically monitored with no ability to determine if smokes actually reach the detection element. For example, spot detectors or point detectors will work only when the smoke enters into the chamber of a detector. It is a passive device and wait for a smoke enter into the chamber. And this aspirating smoke detectors doesn't wait for smoke to enter into the chamber. It keeps drawing air continuously from the atmosphere, and whenever there is any smoke inside the chamber of the detector, it gives you immediate alert. Early detection or warning is key for quick and safe evacuation as well. As early as we detect fire, the damage is less, and maybe no damage if you detect the fire at a very incipient stage. There are different levels available, right from detection to evacuation in the aspiration detection system. When a smoke is detected, you may get different signals as well. It gives you alert in different levels of smoke, and when the smoke reaches the threshold, then the fire signal comes. Of course, the verification is done before any alarm initiation and eventually result in a safe evacuation and safe escape. You can see the picture. which shows different warning signals and responses of the systems accordingly. Fire 2 is always the level at which fire is detected for sure and suppression is to be released. The extinguishing system will on and the gas is discharged, or the any other type of extinguishing system starts. Now we will talk about the risk, causes and damages. Before that, we have to understand the kind of data centers which we are having worldwide. These are the few examples of the data centers which operates at present. There are financial and accounting databases, email server databases, data archives, which secures the data in archives. Then we have file transfer systems, then cloud computing data centers, enterprise level data centers, sales order processing data centers, and a co-location center, also known as a carrier hotel. It is a type of data center where you can rent equipment, you can rent space and bandwidth for the data center's owner, like your SIFI, like your NetMagic, like your STT data centers. Data center. So let us understand how do data center fires occurs. Data center fires can be catastrophic in many ways. Understanding how data center fires occur can be helpful in creating a plan for effective fire protection. A few common fire hazards you may find within the interior of a data center include lightning strikes, short circuits, overloaded electrical systems. See, on average, servers and cooling systems account for the greatest share of direct electricity used in data centers. And these are followed by your storage devices and network devices. So there are a lot of electricity consumption takes place, resulting in the overloading of the electric systems. Overheating of wires and other equipments. Then arson. This is a deliberate burning of the data center. Maybe it's a human intervention, or somebody wants deliberately to do the fire. Negligence on behalf of employees or customers. There are so many reasons available, and these all has done due to the fact that business continuity suffers. So if there is a fire in a data center, your data center is down and you are not able to see a lot of things, and the business continuity suffers. We need always to recover these data centers on time before the fire takes place. Fire represents a serious financial threat to the businesses, as I informed you earlier. Data centers fire could be significantly disrupt communication services and ultimately slash revenues. They also affect immeasurably negative impact on consumer confidence and services. The losses are even bigger than the hacks because the fire incidents can destroy the files which are already there on the servers, and these losses for forever, and hamper communication with all other servers which are available with this particular customer. Due to the concentration of equipment and data in data center, the degree of potential damage that could occur from both conventional fire detection and conventional fire extinguishing system is unacceptable, and they cannot detect and extinguish fire on right time. There are many fire incidents happen in data centers, and most of the cases affect the business continuity. Few examples are like Delta Airlines. You must have heard in 2016 there was a fire in this data center at Atlanta, and it resulted in a power outage that led to 2,000 grounded flights and over $150 million in lost revenue. Pension provided Unisuper, a fire happened at a data center in Australia, knocked services offline for 400,000 customers for roughly 24 hours, preventing them from accessing accounts that contribute to the $57.5 billion. 2 technicians have died in a fire at Cyber One data center in Jakarta, Indonesia. The fire begins when several servers exploded. There is a fire broke in the data center of OVH and destroyed one of the data centers and set 2 other data centers offline. 100 firefighters and 443 fire trucks fought with fire and put end to it. The damages are big enough for the largest hosting provider in Europe and the 3rd largest hosting provider in the world. So you can see the damage done by the fire in data center. Now we will talk about few challenges due to the complex environment in data center, and the local norms also influenced. So there are a lot of challenges in designing the proper detection system because of these reasons. In data centers, there is a lot of air turbulence. That is the main part which gives you, which don't allow you to design a proper fire alarm system or smoke detection system. There is a lot of air turbulence, crack units working to cool the space, in addition to many fans on servers and air pushing up out of raised floors are all create airflow pattern unique to the data centers. The increased air velocity and increased air flow pose a challenge to fire detection because they make it harder to enough fire byproducts to reach a smoke sensor quickly. And of course, especially in a data center, the goal is to identify a fire as quickly as possible. In addition, unlike a general assembly space or even a typical office space, there are a lot of obstruction and unusual fuel sources. Means in data center there are fuel sources like data cards, wires, and there are so many other things. Many data centers operates at temperature which have air velocities that is exceed the parameters of the existing country code, which can leave operators and AHUs a little bit at a loss. Means you have to take care of the local laws as well during the designing, but the best practices are suffered because of all these effects. Furthermore, if you can see rapid air circulation dynamics with fresh air added will dilute this will definitely dilute the smoke to a level way below the alarm level of a point detector. Smoke gets further diluted by fresh air added into the recirculation path. The another challenge is to do detection in hot and cold aisles. This is the most important point in a data center. They cannot mix hot and cold air. They cannot mix because of the different temperatures. The warm air being lighter will rise on the top of the cold air. You can see on the picture. The hot air will cool. Cold aisles refer to the rows composed of rack fronts. Cold aisles face the direction of air conditioner. Means when you open the door, there you will always find a cold aisle. Meanwhile, the hot aisle faces the direction of air conditioned return ducts, where your exhaust system is there. So you will find a cold aisle there. This cold aisle containment system are used to isolate them from the hot aisle. So the proper detection on both aisle is a challenge. So hot aisle is one part and the cold aisle is another part of the same data center. That is why you will not be able to install a normal spot detector. The principal reason which I tell you is for configuring data center with hot and cold as aisle is to manage heating, ventilation and air conditioning, HVAC system in the most effective way to conserve energy. Data centers that have not been retrofitted with hot and cold aisles are likely to use more energy. To save more energy, you need this kind of arrangement. Also, this arrangement generates less heat in the hot aisle and the computer room, air conditioning system, data center work less. Air is routed back to the cold air returns, so temperature remains low in this case. This kind of arrangement provides more effective air handling and cooling system in a data center. Now, congested spaces also make use of point detector impossible. And for the sake, it is more expensive if you use the normal smoke detection system as you compared it with the maintenance of the system. Regulations also says that you do not need to place detectors above an open ceiling grid. You can see on the picture as well. Okay, in this case, you need to detect smoke on two levels, above and below the congested space. So you have to run or you have to install the system in two places. Second, you can reduce the area covered by one detector or sampling point significantly if you use a proper system. Before doing everything, you have to refer to your code relevant in your country. For details, you can take a look of NFPA, FM or VDS guidelines. Another challenge is covered space. Difficult access, as a lot of covered spaces are available in data center application. So that is another challenge in designing a proper fire detection system. In a hall like this, if you can see a picture, in a hall like this, smoke will hardly be able to reach the detectors. The reason is stratification. This stratification makes the smoke to stick on a lower level, especially when the smoke is in a low concentration. Airflow makes it traveling to the crack units. We can all name a few of the biggest technology companies in the world like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, IBM, and even Facebook. They are all developed technologies that millions, sometimes billions of people take for granted on the daily basis. They have made technology inherent to our daily routines. They have hyperscale data centers. This is the example of one of the hyperscale data centers. Hyperscale data centers are having a lot of large open spaces. So these kind of data centers are combination of open space and congested space. There are racks and machines with servers. So proper designing of this kind of detection system is a combination, can be done with the combination of various systems. So there are many kind of detection systems are required. It's a combination of detection systems are required. Now we'll talk about some regulations, international code and regulations. In the meantime, we'll have a short break for some question and answers. If you guys are having some question and answers.
I've got a few questions, Rohit, and the first question is, why is the ASD the recommended detection technology?
Okay, so ASD is recommended technology because it is basically a way it detects smoke at very incipient stage of fire. So an air aspirating or air sampling detection is become increasingly popular in data centers. Why? Because this type of detection is known for its ability to detect a fire at very incipient stage and therefore provide early warning and faster response time, which results in a safe evacuation.
Okay, the next question is there any length restriction of the pipes laid in the data center?
No, there is no restriction on the pipe length, but you have to check the relevant codes applicable in the country where the system is going to be installed, because if you talk about NFPA or VDS or EN, they have certain guidelines. Like NFPA says a single detector can cover only 2000 square meter of area. And if you want to cover more area, then you have to have another detector. So that is one limitation. And then there are different kind of classes available which restrict you on the number of holes on a pipe on a tube network. So there are some limitations based on the regulations which you follow, but there is no limitation on the tube network.
And does the system check the healthiness by any mechanism, or how can we know that there is a problem in the pipe or in the unit?
Yeah, so you can get to know locally also on the screen of ASD. We have different LEDs which show you the fault signals, and then this ASD aspirating smoke detector, if it is connected to a fire alarm system, you will get the same signals replicated on the fire alarm panel. And if you are using an advanced system and you want to hook it with the BMS system, there are certain accessories. When you hook the system to your BMS or SCADA system, you can see the signals there also. So healthiness will be monitored in many places, depending on the nature of the installation.
And is there any software to calculate and design the area and the tube network?
Yeah. So I will cover in my further slides. There are software available to design the piping network. Yes.
And is this an independent system, or can it be connected to a fire alarm system?
You can use in both ways. You can use this system as a standalone as well, because it has a detector, means that the chamber inbuilt, and then all the signals are coming back to the detector unit, and you will find the signals on the screen of the aspirating smoke detector. If you are using a fire alarm system, then you can connect it with the fire alarm system as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have any further questions at this stage, so please proceed with it. Thank you.
Okay, so coming back to the presentation, there are international codes and regulations available. So EN 54 Part 20. This European standards specifies the requirements, test methods, and performance criteria of aspirating smoke detector, which are eventually used in fire detection and fire alarm system installed in data centers. This is one European standard which is available. Then the FIA code of practice is giving a detailed description on why, where, and how the aspirating system has to be used. They talk about sensitivity classes. These classes relate directly to those specifications to EN 54 Part 20. See, this relates to the whole aspiration system and not to the just aspirating detector. So this kind of code talks about the complete system, not only the detector. These kind of codes talk about class A, which is very high sensitivity required for the data center. Yes, the class A application is used in the data center installations. Then class B, which is enhanced sensitivity for the large open areas, and class C, normal sensitivity. So there are different sensitivities available, classes available, and the FIA code practice giving instructions how to use air sampling on different type of cabinets as well. So in cabinet detection, it talks about how to install your pipes and tubes in the in-cabinet detection system. Yes, so this is mainly governed by EN. Then aspiration detection system must comply with the state, local, federal, and national fire protection association (NFPA) codes and standards. NFPA 72 or NFPA 75 standard for protection of computer and data processing equipment. NFPA 76 standard for the fire protection of telecommunication facilities. So ultimately, the authority having jurisdiction will dictate fire protection requirements. Although aspiration systems must comply with codes, they are not required by code. So it depends how you are, installing your system, which basis you are taking. You are taking, EN standards on account, or NFPA on account. Based on those accounts, you can design the system. Also, there are, coming back to the slide, there are also local codes available. So before designing, you must comply with your local country codes as well. Now, we have most suitable solution available for the challenges which you have seen in our previous slides. And believe us that our solution will minimize the cost and damages at a greater extent. It will give you definitely a better solution in this kind of complex installation. Okay, so when designing a fire detection system for a datacom facility, it is important to select advanced smoke detection system. So our SecuriSense, SecuriSmoke ASD detection, products allow full flexible design with quantifiable and reliable detection performance. Advantage, the most important advantages, which includes a wide range of models which are available with us, maximum number of holes with each sensitivity class, class A, class B, class C, which we were talking about, long aggregate pipe length, 5 level of stage responses, like you can see in the picture, and interface with the suppression and BMS components. In addition, they also offer pinpoint high sensitive addressable detection when incorporated with SecuriSmoke rack inline intelligent smoke detectors. So many kind of stage responses are available. Okay, now active aspirating sampling with powerful fans can take care of rapid air circulation, plus fresh air added, while this can dilute the smoke to a level way below the alarm level of a point detector. So that sensitivity of pre-alarm is 0.002 obscuration per meter. That is the beauty of this system available with SecuriTone. You can see very well in the picture. We have systems which can cover the cold aisle, which is basically a containment zone, okay, and the hot aisle as well. You can cover this hot and cold aisle with only one unit, which is a 2-channel unit available with SecuriTone. You can run the same pipe in a hot aisle and a cold aisle, both areas. So apart from that, rapid air circulation plus fresh air, which dilute the air, in a way that it is not possible to detect fire in a very incipient stage, also is taken care by SecuriSmoke aspirating smoke sensors, smoke detectors. Now we were talking about the congestion. So active sampling technology like aspirating smoke detectors, which are available with us. There are a lot of testing points often located in easy access area in or outside the congested space. If you compare with the other detection technology, then you will find our ASDs, our aspirating smoke detectors are very, very maintenance friendly. So very low maintenance. Even as I informed, we will have addresses of both the tubes. So installing in a congested area in a proper manner through software is possible with our system. Okay, the system is designed as per the local country specific practices. Whenever you design as per NFPA design or EN design, it is usually preferred class A installation in data center, as I explained in my previous slide. As per EN, if you talk about as per EN, an ASD system is capable of providing very early warning of a potential fire condition, particularly in a high risk area. with the benefits of staged responses. So it talks about staged responses. And as per NFPA system, that detects low energy fires before the fire conditions threaten mission critical application services, benefits of staged responses with the sampling hole sensitivity. This the alert of around 0.66% obscuration per meter. It is 0.2% obscuration per feet I'm talking about. We are using the HD LED technology, which is the most advanced technology available for detection nowadays. The temperature range can be from -40 to +85 degrees centigrade. Laser is only +40 degrees centigrade. So our, other competitors, they are using laser. So if you compare with LED, then we are far better in terms of the temperature. Long lifetime of the LED. So usually the MTBF is, if you calculate in the in terms of years, then it is more than 10 years MTBF. If you talk about degradation, so less degradation happens in case of LED system if you compare it with the laser system, and of course the cost is lower. Fan is whisper quiet, and believe me, it is extremely silent thanks to fan dB value, which is 25 dB and 34 dB. It is robust, IP50. All the models are IP54, and if required, we have our HD models also available, which is IP66. Okay, the most important part of our aspirating smoke detector is the LED sensors. The LED sensors are, or you can say, has a powerful detection and long life with pre-alarm sensitivity of 0.002 obscuration per meter, which is the highest, which is the greatest sensitivity offered by any company in this segment. Another important feature of SecuriTron ASD is the large chamber. So smoke can be sampled, large smoke can be sampled, and early detection, if you compare with other systems, are available with us. The feature of dust discrimination makes SecuriTron ASD nuisance alarm free. So I can I can take a responsibility and say that our system is almost nuisance free. Okay, if you talk about the fan is 400 Pascal, so suction power is more. You can run a tube length of 300 meter aggregate if you're using a single channel unit, which is a model with known as ASD 535. As I said, MTBF is more than 10 years. And apart from that, if you use the 2-channel model, then the length will be double. So 300 into 2, I'm talking about 600 meters of aggregate tube length with area coverage of around 5,760 square meter with a single smoke detector, with a single aspirating smoke detector. Okay, 1 or 2 sensors, two kind of installations are possible with our SecuriTron aspirating smoke detector. One channel will go till 300 meters. Another, if you're using 2 channel, then it will go to 600 meters. Okay. In any kind of data center facility, the most important thing is the discharge of extinguishing system. So we have a double knock and redundant possibility with our dual channel aspirating smoke detector, ASD 535-2 or -4 model. If you see the figure, check the figure 1, which is double knock. Okay, so independent detector modules and sampling points with sampling holes adjacent to each other on both pipes. Okay, the advantage is the discharge of extinguishing system in case of real fire. Both the pipes will run in the same area with one pipe more sensitive and another pipe less sensitive. Once the most sensitive, once the more sensitive point detector detects the smoke, it will give the programmed signals. It gives you hooter signals, buzzer, or any kind of programming which you already done with this system. And when the second tube network detects the smoke, it will extinguish the system, the extinguishing system. So the system will actuate only when both the detectors are in alarm. So this is the benefit. The benefit is that the firefighters are all the time to extinguish fire manually if only one pipe is in alarm, and when both are in alarm, automatic extinguishing system will operate. Figure 2, redundant detection. Two detector modules connected to a common sampling point. The advantage is if one detector fails, then the another second detector will work. So it will also give you redundancy in terms of the detection. As I said, the extinguishing is important. So the multiple warning levels, if you can see in our aspirating smoke detectors, the multiple warning levels can trigger different responses at different stage of fire. You may actually use the very early warning to actually check into a potential problem before it actually arises, or send a signal to an officer to alert him for a pre-alarm condition. So always important to give a pre-alarm condition before fire breaks, and that is possible with Securiton aspirating smoke detector. To design our aspiration smoke detection, we have a software. It meets the level of protection required for an application in terms of detection, sensitivity, sampling hole placement, coverage, transportation time limits, and other parameters as well. It is essential to use the smoke ASD pipe flow design software. This software helps generating a design basically suitable for your particular kind of installation, and it gives a package which is basis of the design, installation, commissioning, and even the maintenance as well in future. The software tool provides system designers the means and support to design a system in such a way that ASDs are operating in accordance with either EN54 or NFPA. So the results which are coming after the designing are NFPA and EN approved. So the results are already approved. Through TCP/IP, you can network 250 units. Configuration over line is also possible through our SecuriLine configuration. So if you are using a Securiton fire alarm panel, you can connect aspirating smoke detector directly on the loop. You will program, you will even control the aspirating smoke detection from the fire alarm panel itself. So there are various possibilities. The FIDOSnet network solution is typically used whenever remote visualization and operations are required. So what is FIDOSnet meaning? So FIDOSnet makes it possible to connect multiple smoke detectors, aspirating smoke detectors in a network, and it also enables decentralized access. Various interfaces are possible and available on the FIDOSnet board through network control unit, and these are Modbus over TCP/IP or SNMP. There are different kind of protocols available, and these can be used to integrate the data from the network ASD directly into the other system, such as building management system, IBMS system, and maybe if you are using SCADA systems, you can connect it with that. The elegant 7-inch touch screen display sets new standards when it comes to user experience. We have a remote control unit. We call it remote control unit. So you can connect around 100 ASDs with a one remote control. You will see a device list. So ASD 1 to ASD 10 can be named individually and displayed on the screen. And you can scroll 11 to 20, 21 to 30. So 100 ASDs you can see on one remote control unit. Then we have a dashboard. Dashboard details smoke level and airflow and offer reset and isolate function per channel or sensor. So it is possible to control all the ASDs from remote control. Then trending of smoke and airflow, real-time trace of displaying the analog values at a 5-minute FIFO buffer. Okay, so it is possible through NCU, through network control unit. Then events, the 50 most recent events of each ASDs are buffered. So that is a great possibility of controlling all the aspiration smoke detector system through a touch screen. There are small models available from which can, like ASD 535, it cover area of 5,760 square meter. There are models like ASD 531, which covers area of 720 square meter. ASD 532 covers area of 1,250 square meter. So we have various models available. Depending on the nature of installation, you select the model. Then we have onboard SD port. We have some memory available on board, but if you need more memory, then we have a slot available. You can put a SD card and then evaluate all these events later on. So that is also possible. You can use 25 mm tube material. It can be of PVC, UPVC, CPVC, and also metallic pipes. The important part is the external filter, which arrests dust and only air goes inside into the chamber. Since the filter is installed externally, no need to open the main unit, and any unskilled labor can also clean the filter and put the system back on track. So that is beauty of the system. Different kind of accessories available. Depending upon the nature of installation, you select the accessories and then do the installation. We have a global acceptance of our ASDs. We have UL, FM, VDS, all approvals. If you talk about, I will summarize my presentation that we are using LED detector. MTVF is more than MTVF is more than 10 years. 2 channels model available with area coverage of 560 square meter. Can do double knock, suitable for the extinguishing facility. Can have coverage of 720 square meter to 5,760 square meter, and you can use as a redundant system as well. Few of the important references across globe is Google, Apple, Amazon, STT, NetMagic, Yota, Nextra, Bridge, Alibaba. There are so many installations all across globe, and we are already having so many projects in hand. We are executing more than around 50 data centers project right now across the world. With this, I will end my presentation. Thank you for your patience listening. Please.
Rohit, we have a few questions, and the next question is, can the tubes and holes be addressed?
Come again, please.
Can the tubes and the holes be addressed? Can you do addressing of the tubes and the holes?
Yes, it is possible. See, in any case, our 2-channel model ASD 535-2 and -4 are having two sensors. So if you want to, want a area addressing, so it is also possible. Like for a typical example of a data center, like you have a room wide or a below or a ceiling or sorry, false flooring. So you want to get address of separate address for room wide and flooring. So you can use ASD 535-2 or 4 model and run one tube above on the room wide and one in below. Apart from that, if you want to know the address of every hole, it is also possible through a special detector which we are having called REK. It is available, and maybe we can send the details to the customers later on after the presentation of this rack.
And the next question is, what is the different technology for detection in ASD system?
There are at present the main two technology which are used for detection are laser and LED. We are using LED as compared to laser. The life of ASD is more. I can say double of the life of laser. So two technologies right now.
The next question, do we need heat detection systems as well together with the ASD in a data center? So is heat detection also required in a data center application?
It depends on country to country, because the most important aspect is to safeguard the assets and the data in the data center. So you need to detect very early smoke, and in data center application the smoke comes first. So it is important to detect the smoke. If required, yes, heat detection can be installed. That depends.
And why early detection is required in a data center?
But as I said, no, it detects fire in very incipient stage. When in layman terms we say, when the wire starts burning and when there is a invisible smoke, it gives you signals. So it is a very, very, very active system.